Today, it is Terrorsaur's time to shine again. Yeah, I know, let's just say some of my impressions suck ass. So, here's Terrorsaur, not the freaking, like the Buzzworthy Bumblebee version, just this one. The classic one from Beast Wars. The paint job only. The one from Beast War, the one from Buzzworthy Bumblebee, not so much. That's why I said in my previous TFCon video is I'm gonna be skipping the Buzzworthy and just go for this one because this one's fucking better. Because this is the Golden Disc Collection, Terrorsaur from Kingdom. Let's see. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Of course, it's a deluxe class. On the back, here we have Terrorsaur. Don't mind this. I was an animal. Of course, it's really amazing to see Terrorsaur back in action. So let's see forward to let Terrorsaur enter his territory. And here we got Terrorsaur right here in bot mode. Well, my bot mode, he's just right here. So, I do not know why, but obviously he is a retool of Terrorsaur. Well, no, not Terrorsaur. This is Terrorsaur. This is basically the retool of Air Razor. And of course, because the transformation of Air Razor and Terrorsaur are both identical. Now then, of course, they try to at least make him into a bit of a cartoon accurate in his bot mode, but it's not enough to satisfy the needs of the fans. But instead, he is continuously the scheming, well, basically, Starscream if he is reincarnated into a pterodactyl. So, for the accessories, of course, he comes with his own personal blaster, kind of like the paint job on it. So, of course, obviously, you have to plug it in right here. Of course, I'm gonna have to lay him down for a moment because he also comes with his very own golden disc. Yeah, it's not as shiny as the one from Scorponok. That will be in the description below if you want to check that video out. Of course, but this one has the hieroglyphics instead of the alien Vok. Of course, if you want to compare this one, I got to bring out the other golden disc from the DK29 upgrade kit. Of course, that video will be in the description below. Same with Scorponok. Obviously, I had to spoil it, but surprisingly, the Vok golden disc is surprisingly larger than this one. So we'll have to put those to a side for now. But while you open the Terrorsaur and the golden disc out of the box, you have to be very, very careful with these. Of course, you wonder what the hell these things are, and your first intention was like, oh, extra pieces, let's throw it away. Don't do that, because that's how you complete Terrorsaur. Because if you see right here in the wrist mount, that's where you actually have to plug it in to give Terrorsaur a bit more accuracy to the cartoon. Because in the cartoon, you can tell he has a few wrist guards right here, on here, and you gotta be very careful with these. These are super tiny, and yet it is such a pain to get it in. And boom, now we got Terrorsaur completely decked out. Well, not decked out, just completed. The painting and the sculpting on Terrorsaur looks great. I mean, he looks very cartoon accurate. Try to keep it up with the cartoon accuracy, but there is some minor posabilities that limit Terrorsaur's full experience. And of course, for Terrorsaur, let's just say that Kibling, yeah, everything's it's not that good. But on the other hand, I've also discovered that the Buzzworthy Bumblebee is kind of G1 accurate to the toy specifically. And of course, this isn't just the comparison between the Buzzworthy to the original Terrorsaur figure. And this is most likely the painting that's different, because the painting on this is a cartoon accurate representation, while the Buzzworthy one I had, let's just say that one was the toy accurate. And the reason I said I had is because, yeah, I kind of sold it. Yeah, that was a bit of a painful process, but that's something I had to do. Does I mean, like, I don't know if I'll regret it in the long run or not, but either way, I feel like this is a step to something else. But if we bring Terrorsaur to a closer look, if we can take the head sculpt for this Terrorsaur looks, in fact, deliciously evil, yes. But of course, it's the grin. Yeah, I don't like the white faceplate that they gave Terrorsaur. They could have given him a mix of silver, well, no, a mix of grayish white. You know, to give it a bit more realistic vibe. Almost like everything else right here. Of course, we got the small Predacon symbol right here in the arm. This was meant to be the back of Terrorsaur's pterodactyl mode, but I think in the transformation it would suck. And of course, as he is in fact, and of course, if you remember the box art is actually one of the four golden disc collections. So I don't know if I'll collect the rest, but what I do know is that this will be the end of the Predacons for now, because I will continue with more Predacons on the way to resume. And of course, for Terrorsaur, let's just say that Kibbling, yeah, everything's yeah, it's not that good. But on the other hand, I've also discovered that the Buzzworthy Bumblebee is kind of G1 accurate to the toy specifically. And of course, this isn't just the comparison between the Buzzworthy to the original Terrorsaur figure. And this is most likely the painting that's different because the painting on this is a cartoon accurate representation, while the Buzzworthy one I had, let's just say that one was the toy accurate. And the reason I said I had is because, yeah, I kind of sold it. Yeah, that was a bit of a painful process, but that's something I had to do. Does I mean, like, I don't know if I'll regret it in the long run or not, but either way, I feel like this is a step to something else. But if we bring Terrorsaur to a closer look, if we can take the head sculpt for this Terrorsaur looks, in fact, deliciously evil, yes. But of course, it's the grin. Yeah, I don't like the white faceplate that they gave Terrorsaur. They could have given him a mix of silver, well, no, a mix of grayish white. You know, to give it a bit more realistic vibe. Almost like everything else right here. Of course, we got the small Predacon symbol right here in the arm. This was meant to be the back of Terrorsaur's pterodactyl mode, but I think in the transformation it would suck. And of course, as he is in fact, and of course, if you remember the box art is actually one of the four golden disc collections. So I don't know if I'll collect the rest, but what I do know is that this will be the end of the Predacons for now, because I will continue with more Predacons on the way. So there's nothing said about Terrorsaur except he's a scheming scoundrel, kind of like Starscream. You know, I kind of wonder if he is a descendant of Starscream. I don't know. But we shall begin with the posability, beginning with a swivel to the head, where he can look, well, I don't know if he look a bit down, but he can look up very well. If he position the wing out, he can go a full 360 in the arms right here. You can also extend it out with a hinge joint here, swivel at the wrist, and a hinge joint here, which no waist swivel because that's part of the transformation. Waist swivel can kick that far and go back that far. Beautiful spread. Yes. Thigh and ankle swivel. You can go a knee joint here and a pivot right here, but that's part of the transformation, and a ball joint to the ankle. which only a limited pivot. So for the posability for Terrorsaur, it's fair for fair for a figure that has limited posability. And even though he is limited to some posabilities, he makes it up a bit with some size, because he's got some status. Because we're doing size comparison. So for starting off with size comparison, here we got Vertebrake, another fossilizer Paleotrex, and finally the last Predacon, the Predacon fossilizer Rectonite. My previous review also his dev partner Scorponok. Link will be in the description below if you want to take a look at him. And then we have Shadow Panther, the comic relief Waspinator, the scheming and beautiful Black Arachnia, and the leader himself, Megatron. Now all I need is Tarantulas and Inferno to complete the Predacons. But since we are done with the Predacon size comparison, we are going to go with the Maximals, shall we? Because here we got Vertebrake's brother, Dragodon. Yeah, Dragodon. The sneaky rat trap, the calm and persistent Tigertron, and finally, the peaceful but very robust Rhinox. So, that will be it for size comparison, but now we are beginning with the transformation and Terrorsaur's vehicle. Pterodactyl mode. Or should I say beast mode? Because, of course, we got the Terrorsaur right here, the War for Cybertron Golden Disc Collection for number 4. And the transformation will be similar to Air Razor, so I will see you all when Terrorsaur is back. Yes.
70 years later.
And here we got Terrorsaur in his pterodactyl mode, or Pteranodon. Either way, because let's just say Terrorsaur. Let's just say this Terrorsaur. I do not know if he is, in fact, cartoon accurate to it, but I think his beak should be slanted downwards a bit. And of course, if you check my previous review, Scorponok, link will be in the description below. Terrorsaur and Scorponok ultimately met a fate in the beginning of season 2. Man, that is kind of fucked. Yikes. Yeah, that is kind of horrifying, especially since one of them was an internet, basically Starscream reincarnated, or even, and the most loyal lieutenant for Megatron. Both died. Yikes. I wonder why the show had to cancel them both out. Wondering why. But aside from that, this Terrorsaur has made some new comic appearance, and let's just say this Terrorsaur is in fact, I do not know, since this Terrorsaur is basically a retool, basically a retool of Kingdom Air Razor. That is all I have to say, because ever since I got Air Razor and Terrorsaur, when I transformed them both, it's basically the same transformation. That's all I have to say. They both have the similar transformations. Now, of course, Terrorsaur does not have any other accessories. And for weapon storage, here we got Terrorsaur's blaster again. And maybe we could plug it in some way, like right here in the thigh. Just to, like right where this peg should be. Like where this port and this peg, you just have to I don't know if I should say gently, but oh god. Yeah, kind of like that, but yeah, I do not see that. I mean, like, it's a little hard to miss on one side, but if you point it at the other, then I don't know. Yeah, that's just, I don't know, it feels weird. Now, of course, if we go back to, let's take the head sculpt in first, because Terrorsaur has green eyes. Surprisingly, his beak is a bit slanted instead of slouched a bit. And when you open its jaw, you can actually see some outwarded teeth. And yeah, it looks, yikes, he looks like Woody Woodpecker with that beak. Because, man. And of course, I kind of like the fact that they try to reassemble, like, try to modernize this Terrorsaur since. Okay, yeah. Okay. They try to modernize Terrorsaur with a bit of cartoon accuracy, but I feel like they kind of stole the accurate version of a pterodactyl from Wingfinger, which you'll be seeing maybe in the near future. So, of course, the transform. Oh, wait, I already said the transformation similar. So, we shall begin with the posability. Obviously, you know the beak can open and close. He can go up and down his head, look side to side, and of course, the wings. Of course, you can actually fold them out like this. I do not know how far you can fold them out down, and of course, you can bend them like this, so he could at least look like he is sitting down. Like wow. And okay, so I can tell some of you are gonna be wondering what happened. Obviously, if we go back to Pterosaur's feet, like right here, you can tell I tend to bend a bit. And by bend, I meant to say they folded in, and with the weight, of course, considering that they can't go back, he is going to fall like that. But I learned how to figure ways to make Pterosaur stand on his own. Because, I don't know, it's a bit of a painful process to at least spend at least an hour to figure a way to get Terrorsaur to stand upright. But luckily, it was worth it. But since Terrorsaur cannot stand up straight, and therefore I have to at least make him up, stand him up like this. But he makes it up for that wingspan, because oh wow, by the Inferno, that is a long wingspan. It's like it was created by the Inferno itself. So here we finally got the foursome Maximals, the quartet of Maximals. Finally. And finally, my collection of the Predacons so far. And I really, really, really hope this is the end for the Predacons. For now. Until I might get more, or if I can, or to get more Maximals. Because at this point, Megatron's army has been growing non-stop. And it is just a bit impactful. Like, very impactful. Like, so hard to compact all of them in one spot. Whew! Because, wow. Look at all this work. All of this Predacon building army. Wow, that is something. Oh. And, of course, with the leader class Megatron, that would explain a lot. So that is it for Terrorsaur. So I hope you all liked this video. Subscribe, comment down below. Don't forget to share this video. Do not forget to comment. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok so you don't miss another video. And that'll be it for the Predacons for now. Well, for this year, because soon, throughout the month, well, let's just say throughout next month, the near end of this year, it would only be, well, Autobots and Maximals. So we're gonna have more of them. So don't forget to ring the bell for notifications after you subscribe, so you don't miss a video. And that would be it for Terrorsaur. So this is R.D.G. and I'm out.